Okay, welcome back everyone. This is part 2 of the lasagna. This part is going to be our, the first part was our beef and vegetable lasagna. This part is going to be about our salmon and vegetable lasagna. So let's get started. So we have the water boiling. We already have our noodles boiling in the pot. And while the noodles are boiling, we're gonna do our salmon. So I have 2 pieces of salmon here. I'm going to take them out. I'm gonna rinse them off. Now I'm not going to remove the skin. I'm going to cook the salmon in the air fryer. I'm going to season it, cook it in the air fryer, and then when it's done, I'll take the skin off, because at that point, the skin will come off a lot easier. We're going to season the salmon kind of lightly. I'm going to use the cowboy butter as kind of like a base seasoning for this. So I'm going to sprinkle this cowboy butter seasoning on. Has a little bit of a sweetness to it, not much, right? I'm going to put some onion powder. I'm going to put Cajun seasoning. I'm going to add some smoked paprika. I'm going to get some smoky flavor on that. I just want to sprinkle it over there, make sure I can see it. That way I can make sure that I can taste it. So I'm going to put it on in the air fryer. I'm going to cover this with aluminum foil. I'm going to cover this rack with aluminum foil. I'm going to season the bottom, right? Same seasonings, I'm going to put them on the bottom. I mean, well, on top of the aluminum foil, but it's going to be on the bottom of the fish. Of our salmon. That's the Cajun seasoning. This is onion powder. Let's get that cowboy butter on here. You don't have to go too heavy with this. Just make sure it's on there. Smoked paprika. When we're putting this on, so there's plenty of seasoning. That way we make sure it goes, through the skin into the fish itself. And let's add some garlic. Oh, there. Just a couple of spots of garlic, minced garlic there. And I'm going to put, before I put this fish on, I'm going to add some olive oil. Just drizzle it on the bottom. I'm going to add my fish now. Okay, and I'm going to drizzle the olive oil on the top part of the fish also. And not too much. Now I'm going to put this in the air fryer. And I'm just going to set it for fish. Now that's 220 degrees and it's set for 15 minutes. Okay, so now while the fish is pulling itself together over there, we're going to make the vegetable, which is going to be our spinach. Take our pot, and I'm going to put the olive oil on the bottom. not frying it, so just put it so that it doesn't stick. Just enough it doesn't stick, and smooth it around. Make sure it covers the bottom and the sides where it'll most likely get on. And then we'll use maybe a half a cup. We can do like a half a cup of because this is actually going to be just for me, so it's just going to be like maybe 2 servings. So we use maybe a half a cup of spinach. Don't need a whole lot. Okay. All right. We're going to season our spinach with adobo. Onion powder, black pepper, garlic, just a dash of garlic, and always you want to use some vegetable seasoning. I'm going to use the better than bouillon vegetable. Just a small amount of that. Okay. All right. Use that. And let's cook this up. Okay, noodles already. Want to turn that over just let that sit. Spinach is frozen, so we're gonna let the spinach defrost. Make sure spinach is defrosting everything as it heats up. You can separate it, and you want to make sure you get it separated. That way, the seasonings can go and be on all of the. Can be evenly distributed on the spinach and not just, have bursts of seasonings on certain pieces or certain parts of spinach, right? Make sure it's all evenly distributed. And this is what our noodles look like. They're about completely cooked. I'm just kind of tapping it so that it can kind of fall apart, separate as it unfreezes. And then you want to, keep mixing it so that the flavor it just gets evenly flavored. You may wonder why I don't use just fresh spinach. Fresh spinach is fantastic, but I like frozen spinach because it doesn't go bad. It just has a longer lifespan, and I don't have to just worry about eating it up so it'll go bad. It'll last, and then it's chopped up, and I don't have to, when I eat it, I'm not taking a bite and pulling out a string of spinach, and I'm not having to chop it up myself. So this is about done, right? So we can turn that off. Spinach cooks really quick. We're gonna make our ricotta cheese. We're gonna make our ricotta cheese. Let's get that done. So we are going to, now I'm going to take 2 heaping spoonfuls. So this is a teaspoon. I'm going to take 2 heaping spoonfuls of ricotta cheese. Let's see. And I am going to add. I'm going to add my mozzarella cheese. Handful 1/2 of mozzarella cheese. And I'm going to season this with onion powder. And I'm going to carefully sprinkle it on the top. I'm going to put 1 squeeze of the garlic, minced garlic. I'm going to use black pepper. Oregano. Okay. And that's all the seasonings I'm going to use for this. I'm going to stir this up, make sure it all gets stirred up really good. And you want it to have the consistency of like a kind of like a cottage cheesy. Okay, so it's been 8 minutes. So now I'm gonna check on the salmon. I'm gonna take it out. Okay, salmon cooks pretty quick. So I'm gonna take the salmon out and I'm going to flip it over. I flip the salmon over and I'm going to take the skin off. That's 1 piece, and I'm going to actually cut it up in pieces. Just make it, bite-sized chunks. It's not cooked yet, then it's fine. Take the skin off. Skin comes off easy. Right, and then we'll just get rid of this. And I'm going to cut this piece into small bite-sized pieces. And I'm going to flip it over so we can get some seasonings. And, matter of fact, I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm just gonna season it over time. Just put some Cajun seasoning, just add some more seasonings over top. Cajun. I'm gonna do this, pretty lightly this time because it already has seasonings on it. Just lightly seasoned it with the Cajun seasoning, pepper, real quick. Little pepper, put onion powder, okay, and then I'm going to do the cowboy butter to get it I'm gonna put it back in for the last 7 minutes. Okay, so next we're going to make a white sauce for this dish. Check the salmon. Salmon is done. So let's turn that off. That is 5 minutes. So I'm going to, we're gonna make a white sauce. Before I add anything else, I'm gonna make a white sauce, like an Alfredo sauce for this lasagna. This is gonna be in the rice. I'm gonna put ricotta cheese. I'm gonna put 2 scoops of ricotta cheese. Make that 3. Yeah, make that 3. 3 scoops of ricotta cheese in a saucepan. I'm going to add about a half a cup of milk, Parmesan and Romano cheese, and I'm going to add plenty of it. Okay, I'm gonna add at least a half cup of Parmesan Romano cheese. I'm going to add a little cowboy butter for seasoning. Right, and let's heat that up and melt that all down. Stir it. So I'm gonna just stir this up and let this melt down and mesh together nicely. Let's add a little adobo. Just about a spoonful of adobo. Just a little onion powder. We don't want to, just maybe a spoonful of onion powder. We don't want to add too much. And I'm going to add my favorite olive oil. Just about a spoonful of olive oil. Okay. Give that a little taste. Oh, that's nice. Let that sit, and I'm going to start putting everything into the dish. So we're gonna drizzle some of this on the bottom. Right, put that on the bottom. I'm gonna add the noodles whole. Let's cut the noodles up into kind of like rectangles. And we can place them, shape them and place them. And cut these into like 3 parts. Okay. Place them down in here. Good. Salmon. Okay. And let's add our salmon. I'm gonna add all the salmon. Put it all around. Wow. My goodness. That is good. Oh my goodness, that's good. So now, just like any lasagna, we're gonna layer this. So let's that salmon was like very flavorful, delicious. Delicious. I'm like starving waiting for this. Sip it. I'm gonna actually put just one more piece. So I have plenty here. One more piece. And then here's where we're going to put our ricotta cheese and spinach, and we're gonna just put it in spots like we did with the beef. Make sure it's on the noodle. And now we're going to add our spinach. I certainly could have made a little bit more of this, but it's fine. We don't have to put it thick. Put a little, there we go. Spread it around. It's gonna be so delicious. All that spinach out of there. Okay. And back to our last layer of lasagna. Now I'm gonna put it, you know, where the, you know, in between where the other pieces like intersect, right? So not exactly directly on top of the other ones, and it's fine. Yee-hoo. Let's shape it out here like this. Not put the last piece long ways. Okay. Now I am going to add this. Hopefully I made enough. I'm gonna add this over the top. My goodness. Look at that. Ooh. Actually not as much as I'd like it to be, so I'm just gonna make a little bit more real quick. Okay, just pour the rest on the top. Just want to have enough so that it's all completely covered and it sinks in the between the cracks and everything. So here we go. Right. And I'm actually gonna only put this in the oven for 30 minutes before I check it. Okay, so now it's been about 20 minutes and I'm taking the salmon lasagna out and I'm sprinkling the top with, you know, covering it completely with some mozzarella cheese. Now I'm gonna just stick it back in the oven so the cheese melts down and bubbles up really good, and then I'll take it out for good. Okay everyone, thanks for watching. We're sure you will enjoy the recipes that we share with you. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so that you won't miss any of our upcoming videos. And make sure you always watch them all to the end.